In this video, I'm going to be philosophizing on subjectivity and the nature of subjectivity as, ironically, highly synthetic. The source of the synthetic is subjectivity, and what originates in subjectivity often could not otherwise exist unless we refine it to something that is calibrated to what is more approximate to what already does exist. And it's calibrations of the intrinsic creativity only constituted from well-defined, valid, psychologically true, and meaningful processing of perception, action, and or behavior that engages psychological processes that the self connects to the subjectivity within direct perception. And one engages a refinery process within subjective experience that allowances subjectivo-objectivo relationships to develop from specific perception, action, and or behavior. As we're engaging in specific meaningful processing of the currents of consciousness, as we're engaging in subjectivity that is inherently vague as it operates from its origins, yet as we learn and we mature throughout the lifespan, we are engaging a refinery of subjectivity into the well-defined to be able to do anything. As had we only remained in our subjectivity with no well-defined, easier access to knowledge, things would be inherently meaningless, and operating in subjectivity would increase meaningfully the disparities of one's existence, as to be unable to access easier knowledge to one's existence and only have access to a vagueness that doesn't hold any meaning, at least to the self that is of most concern to it. As often there are certain currents of consciousness that tend to operate in these intermissions, and which tend to more frequently engage our experiential encounters of, allowancing for one who sees to it that these meanings are of meaning to them and that mean something, mean some meaning, as to cultivate the processes of truth seeking in relation to the self that are liberations of the self, connective of subjectivity, and not aimlessly wandering in the external world and not connecting the introspections of one's being to the external encompassing world environment, that one engages these superficial connections to imitate and cannot truly engage any original creative process without connecting the introspections of being that are operating within the self and surrounds to the voluntary connections one can extend to the external world environment with voluntary existing prior inputs of sensors that one sends meaningful information to the precepts of self. One develops the volition to voluntarily connect the outputs of one's perception, action, and behavior. and engages meaningfully a meaningful increase in mobile perception, action, and or behavior, expanding mind-body connections to the vagencia. That's all I want to say for this video. Hope you have an awesome, beautiful thing.